7th of January 2020. Piotr here. This is Liteforex Global YouTube channel, and we are getting closer to the US cash open, so it's time to make small updates. Let's start with the cable, and if you remember, we were discussing cable yesterday. We were discussing rejection at 132. So hopefully you make it, right? So let me explain what happened. We hit what was supposed to work as a previously as a demand, and well, it worked for a while, right? Then we saw the breakdown, so we got back into that level, right? That's the first thing. The second thing I loved when I saw it was the upper shadow, right? So overall, of course, I didn't short at the top. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. But I shorted shy above 32 with 12 pips stop, all right? And what I've been looking for, because most probably we are going as low as here. Unfortunately, I'm no longer short, right? Probably we are going to retest this weekly open and this consolidation, which bulls use to push prices higher, right? So probably that's where we are. That's where we are going. Unfortunately, I'm no longer short, but let me explain what I did. All right, when I saw this lower shadow here and the 15 minutes close above this support, that was my exit. So I had 12 pips stop and I hit 61 pips profit. So overall 5R is not bad, okay? So that's how I see the things on the cable. Right here, right now, I do believe we are going to revisit the weekly open 3080. You know, we do have this USIS non-manufacturing ISM, all right? We might see a little bit of the spike, and I might try to rejoin actually around 3160 if seen, all right? 3160 if seen. That's the zone I'm going to watch very carefully in case of some kind of the rebound, all right? In the case of the rebound here on the cable. So I'm going to look for 3080. In case we are going to go straight, from here, I'm going to watch this consolidation, all right? Post US number. Don't forget, we do have ADP tomorrow, US ADP, and then Friday non-farm payrolls, right? Next week CPI. So well, volatility is here on the cable. That's good, right? So that's the plan for the afternoon. Either we are going straight towards 3080, 3050, and I'm looking to intraday opportunity to go long, or we are going to push higher towards 3155, 3165, and I'm gonna to look to resell cable. All right, let's have a look what we have on euro dollar, because we are approaching, if you remember, we were discussing yesterday. We are approaching this level, and yes, I'm looking to buy, but probably I'm going to wait a bit towards the US data, right? And I'm going to try to trade the US data in case we are going to get this US non-manufacturing ISM lower than what market is expecting, right? But still, these levels around 1160, the zone was between, if you remember, we discussed 75.60, so still somewhere around 60 and stop below 50. But again, guys, waiting to see what's going to happen with the ISM, right? It might be better choice to try to trade longs euro pound after the initial sell-off today. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We were discussing this 84 levels. Still want to see 85 get back, retest 85, and if holds, I might try to join euro pound instead of the euro dollar, right? Now this morning we were discussing dollar yen and euro yen, but to be honest with you, based on this news from Iran, right, I think market is waiting for the US guys to react because we haven't seen anything, right? So just a friendly reminder, I'm waiting for a little bit higher levels towards 108.65, 108.85 from the sell on Riley's perspective. Same thing is on EURJPY, right? I'm waiting for a little bit higher levels. If you remember, still we didn't quite hit that zone towards 21.75, somewhere around these levels. All right, so that's, well, to be honest with you, I don't know. No reaction yet. Maybe market wants to react together using the Iran news and US data. Maybe, who knows. Anyway, let's have a look what we have on the oil side, because looks like I've been wrong with the oil towards the end of the year. Of course, I didn't expect any kind of the fireworks between US and Iran. It happened, so it's time to make some small updates in regards to the oil, right? Still think we might see a little bit more sell-off, but right here, right now, I would wait, because you know the Iran is preparing itself for this revenge, right? 13 different scenarios and stuff like this. Well, of course, market is going to be under pressure from that news towards the end of the week, most probably, right? So at some point we are going to see the reaction. So we might see oil going a little bit higher. So 60 yesterday high 64.50, right? That's what I'm gonna to watch based on the price action we've seen here around the late April of 2019. So retest of that level. That's what I wanna see. All right. So somewhere like this towards this 64.50, maybe 65, and eventually the rejection. In case you are a bull on the oil because of current situation, so that's your buying zone, right? 61 and 60.50 down towards 60, those three levels, let's say between 61 and 60, this type of the pullback, and you want to trade to the upside oil, right? Strange situation on the gold. Because of what we've seen yesterday, huge spike to the upside, gap up, huge upper shadow, attempt to close the gap. Well, probably we haven't closed that gap yet. So if you are a bull, you wanna see the gap to be closed, right? You might want to see some even stops to the downside, and I would say the levels around 15.20, 15.15, it's what you want to watch ahead of the continuation to the upside. That's the first scenario. The second scenario is a little bit lower, 14.85, right? So we might see this type of the price action, okay? So first I'm going to watch between 15.25, 15.20 gold, and with very tight stop, right? So what I may want to see from the intraday perspective, you know, we can try to visualize this around 25. So we might see the early candle like this with some lower shadow, right? On the early, for example, right? Hitting these stops, right? But closing above. And from here, we might see attempt to go higher. That's the intraday trade. So I'm not gonna look for, you know, thousands of pips. If my, I'm going to check if I have 3R, and if the initial possibility is going to be 3R, that's what I'm gonna to do, right? And finally, I'm going to watch two new things. It's gonna be Nasdaq around 8,800 based on 8,880, 8,900 based on my chart, right? So I'm going to watch this zone, and I wanna see this type of the price action as we have here with the upper shadow, but during the cash market, right? Something similar to the cable, for example, something like this, if you want to visualize this stuff. And I'm going to watch also from the selling perspective one more JPY cross. I'm going to watch Australian dollar versus yen, and I'm going to look for the opportunity to sell in between 75 and 75.20, right? So I'm looking either half of the road of the today's move to the downside, or I'm looking for today's open or yesterday close levels, right? So in between 75, 75.20, that's in case we see some spike on the yen crosses, right? That's where I'm gonna to look to try to sell. So either dollar yen, euro yen, or Aussie yen, right? Or smaller position, so a little bit of the diversification, so you know, but don't try to jump to each with the regular size, right? Because you are going to have the exposure to the risk off and only to the long yen, so be very, very careful. All right, guys, so that was the short update here around the US cash open 7th of January 2020. It was my pleasure to be with you here. Don't be trapped later today. Don't forget tomorrow ADP, then Friday non-farm payrolls. See you around, guys.